Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tulkas Plays Pokemon Ash Gray. First off, I want to let everybody know, I'm sorry that the video is later than it usually is. We had an audio problem. I've been trying some new things to improve the quality of the videos. Some of it didn't work out. The audio is corrupted on this video. So we already had the gameplay. I didn't want to go back. I didn't really have a way to with my save file. So this is going to be post-commentary. I hope that doesn't bother anybody. It's the best I can do. I really apologize. We'll try to avoid it in the future. I want to thank everybody for coming out to support the video today, even if it was a little bit late. If you like the content, do please hit the like button. It really helps out. If you enjoy the content and want to see more in the future, go ahead and subscribe so you get notified when a new video comes out. And if you have anything to say, drop a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. I'll respond to each and every one. And if you'd like to see yourself in the series or have a username you can think of for a Pokemon we get in the future, leave a comment for it and we'll make sure you get added in. I mentioned it in the past 2 episodes. I want to mention it again. Just because Ash does go long periods in between getting new Pokemon, there is a commenter who is still waiting on a nickname. That is J-U-U. Pronunciation I'm not sure on, but I've been going with Jew. You will get your Pokemon nickname. I promise, I have not forgotten. It's just Ash takes his sweet time adding to the party. So I think the next thing we should get is one of the starters. It's either Bulbasaur or Charmander, and I'm not sure which one. But that one will be all you, man. I really appreciate your support on the series. So we're just letting Pidgeotto knock out this poor man's bug Pokemon. Metapod looks like just half asleep all the time. Just sort of really dopey. Very content with life. He reminds me a lot of like a stoner. Just that stereotypical man that's constantly smoked up. Eyes half closed, chilling out. Got the munchies. Real chill. The Big Lebowski. The next time I get a Metapod, that is going to be the Big Lebowski. So they've done a lot of work here. We're coming up on Mount Moon. This is Seymour the scientist being attacked by a Zubat. This happened in the anime. I've been going back just because the series has kind of sparked my interest and watching some of the old anime, and have actually quite enjoyed it. I mean, it's not quite the same as it was when I was a child, being an adult, but there's a lot of nostalgia there, and it's a lot of fun. But the guy who did his voice in the English dub was perfect. He nailed that character. He had that wild sort of eccentricity to him that was just bellissimo. It was perfect. What up, Seymour? So he gives us a little background that they've strung up lights inside Mount Moon, and all the nocturnal creatures, like the Zubat that was just attacking him, are going crazy because of it. The Clefairy are aliens. Please go help them. Will do, Seymour. I think right here I go looking because this looks like a place there would normally be an invisible item. I don't find anything. They've made clearly a lot of changes, so I guess you're not really going to be able to trust stuff like that. And they've made this layer over top of Mount Moon to kind of show off the lights and the fog that you see in the anime, but right there, and every time we go into either a trainer battle or wild encounter for this whole episode, you will see that fog and light layer glitch out for just a second before the battle scene comes up. It is the first real oversight that I've seen in this ROM hack. Most of it has been really, really well done, and I've been very impressed by it. But that is one place where the paint kind of peels just a little bit. Now we wander around in here quite a bit. This place, they've really changed how it works. The map layout is not the same. I've played the original, well, I've played the Kanto map anyway. Between my playtimes on Red, Blue, Yellow, and Fire Red and Leaf Green, I have played through Mount Moon multiple times, and I know the layout like the back of my hand. But they've changed it here. And it's very easy to get lost, especially with that fog layer. You just have to kind of guess where you're going. And even though I think the effect looks pretty decent, probably one of my least favorite things that they've changed so far. And this is very odd because you'll see trees and grass right there, but we're still having encounters like we're inside the cave. And we're even encountering outdoor Pokemon like Pidgey. We will encounter multiple Pidgey. They are an infestation here at Mount Moon, and someone needs to call an exterminator. It gets bad, as you can see. I ain't got time for your stuff, Pidgey. Get out of here. So the nugget was not there in the base game. So they have done a lot of work here, and it's not necessarily bad work. I just don't necessarily love all the directions they went in. And I made the comment during the regular recording, I think this is the first time we've run into a Rattata in the wild, which is very odd for a Pokemon game. Usually they're everywhere. And they've definitely changed the trainers you run into here, because I don't think you run into a black belt here. Pidgeotto will have no trouble with the Machop. It is very unfortunate that they changed the way that Butterfree evolved. Butterfree evolved at level 10, and it should have gotten Confusion at the same time, but they changed it to, I think, get Poison Powder or Stun Powder 1. It didn't get Confusion anyway, and I think it really was a balance issue because you fight Team Rocket so much, and their Pokemon are Poison type. Having Confusion on Butterfree with its special attack being pretty high really does, it would kind of probably unbalance those fights. So we put it to sleep. Butterfree is great for the effects like that. And I bring out Pikachu just to test, see if it can kind of recapture the magic from the Pewter City Gym. And I decide to throw on the Tail Whip just in case Pikachu goes down. Somebody else who's going to have to rely on physical attacks might have a slightly easier time. Unfortunately, it gets the Mud Sport off, so all our electrical attacks are going to be doing less. I decided to paralyze it so that we have some advantage in case Pikachu gets one shot, but it's not doing as much damage as I thought it would. And Thundershock is doing quite a bit more. When this Pikachu learns Thunderbolt, it is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Pikachu fittingly overpowered. In the anime, there is no logical reason, according to the rules of the game, that a Pikachu should ever be that powerful. But it is a glorious kind of overpowered, and I love it. So that's effectively at 22 base special attack. With the Light Ball, that's effectively 44 special attack, which is huge at right around level 10 to 12. And being able to hit ground types in general, just a huge help. Because I really, at this time, with just Pidgeotto and Butterfree, both of whom are really weak to rock type, I don't really have another option. So if Pikachu couldn't fight these, like Geodudes and Sandshrews, Pidgeotto could probably take a Sandshrew, but the Geodudes would be a real problem. Oh, Mr. Zubat. His mouth is just enormous. No reason for that. It's the stuff of nightmares. No eyes and a 10-foot wide mouth. It's disgusting. Zubat reminds me, I don't know if everybody does this, but you have like a relative that has really bad breath, but they insist on being very close to you when they speak. I've got some people like that. They'll come up to talk to you at family reunions or dinners or things, and they'll start out at like a respectable social distance, and as the conversation progresses, they'll very quickly start to close the distance. And I was in Walmart one day talking to a relative of mine, and they had me pressed up against one of the racks of items, and were like mere centimeters from being in actual physical contact with me, and I could feel their breath on my face, and it was so gross, and it was, oh, I can't even think about it. It was awful. And that's what Zubat reminds me of. I just don't even want to be close to it. I feel like it would just try to get close to me and just try to breathe on me. Oh, that's why it supersonics everything. It's trying to confuse them into wanting to be its friend. Maybe if I can confuse them, they'll let Zubat breathe on them. I don't know why I made Zubat Gollum. Kind of fits him. Oh, I like it. That's my headcanon from now on. That's what Zubat sounds like. I don't know, with a mouth like that, he probably sounds more like Barry Manilow. Super deep voice. That would be ridiculous. A stupid little Zubat flying around. But even the Magnemite, even with the Steel type, just cannot handle Pikachu. Pikachu just OP. Pikachu needs to be nerfed. Lucky with the paralysis there. I mean, even with the not very effective, we're still knocking down some pretty decent damage. As long as he doesn't crit, we should be okay. Yeah, held on with 2. Some of this, because we were in the cave so long and I was trying to do commentary, I don't actually remember, so some of this is actually genuine reaction. I don't remember what all happened. Oh, that special attack's getting wildly out of control. I love it. So I decided that we need to pass around a few potions. We got enough of them, and we definitely need to keep, definitely need Pikachu alive just in case we run into a Geodude or something. Having only physical attacks, my best bet, if Pikachu did go down and I ran into a Geodude, I would have to pretty much use Butterfree to poison it, and then bridge items and things to just stall out the death. Or the feigning, however you want to say it. Because Pidgeotto and Butterfree both. Butterfree knows Tackle, that's its only damaging move right now. And Pidgeotto knows Gust and Quick Attack and Tackle, but none of those are going to do much to a Geodude. So it would be a poison attrition. I actually wouldn't mind picking up a Paris here just for type coverage. Of course, I say that it's like Bug Grass, which would give us coverage on somewhat Psychic and a little bit of Water, but Pikachu can handle anything Water. And we're not going to run into any Psychic types for a while. But here again, if Butterfree knew Confusion, it'd be a perfect place to use it. But Pidgeotto's got this. Critical hit and all. Pidgeotto up to level 16. So we would, I think, is it 16 or 18? We would actually be getting a Pidgeotto if we were raising Pidgey up to evolution. Kakuna holds on, that's actually kind of impressive. 5 levels down. Dodge the poison, that's nice. Quick Attack will take that out. That's quite a bit of experience for just a Kakuna. Yep. Give me that money. Swing $100. Yeah, the encounter rate is just kind of ridiculous here at Mount Moon. I'm not sure if they altered it. You know, leave a comment down below if you think that the encounter rate is, I don't know, better than usual, worse than usual. Did they change it, or am I just feeling like they changed it because in an enclosed space you start to panic? Am I claustrophobic? Are the walls closing in? No! Pidgeotto, help! What do you mean you're a bird and you can't do anything? See, right, I took 2 steps and I was already back into another encounter. It's a little ridiculous. Which I guess at this point, I don't know, does Pewter City sell repels? Another encounter. Ridiculous. Pidgey infestation taking over. One day, if you work really hard and eat all your Wheaties, you might be almost as good as my Pidgeotto. How does that feel? So we picked up a couple TMs here. And I'm going to try to dodge this dude. I don't want to fight him. He looks like the kind of guy that would have Geodude and whatnot. And I don't want to deal with that. Even with Pikachu, it's annoying. Another of the Pidgey Scourge. And evidently I'm having a hard time walking. Because I keep missing the ladder. Rattata constantly in a wide open screen. Ah, I'm a rat! Ah, nobody wants me! Ah, but Hyperfang's actually pretty good. I actually was playing another ROM hack just sort of in my spare time. And I had a Rattata, and I trained it up and I stuck with it. And I got it up to, I forget where it learns it, like 15 or 16 it learns Hyper Fang. Maybe not quite that late, I'm not sure. It's somewhere around there. Hyper Fang for Rattata and then eventually Raticate is, I think it's in the base 50 or 60 power. At least that much. And then it's a stab move for them because it's a normal type. It can dish out some damage. Alright, Team Rocket popping up. Maybe we're not. So they're going to send out their Pokemon. Both poison types. I don't know why Meowth is not like fighting. I don't know if they figured it might be too hard at this level. I don't know if they just thought it might be too much to throw onto you. But it's a little weird because in the anime I have noticed as I've been watching it that he does occasionally actually try to fight some. Of course, I also see in the anime that a Caterpie was able to beat 3 Pokemon at once with string shot, so who knows? What are the rules? There are no rules. Life is a lie. Ash is in a coma. That's why he never gets any older. There's your fan theory for the day. So I've been thinking about adding something new to the channel. Not like series-wise, but just sort of a little aside thing that we do. And I'm going to call it Question of the Episode. What I want to do is just what it sounds like. I'm just going to ask you guys a question. Oh no, the poison. He took out Pikachu. No, my trump card. What am I going to do if I run into a rock type? Butterfree, you have to stay alive. We need your poison. Doing work with that tackle. Getting the crit. Good job. Saw his brother go down on the field. Decided to pick up the slack. But we're just going to ask a question in the episode, and I'd just like to get an answer down in the comments down below. And I thought we'd start it off with something really basic, just to kind of get everybody's feet wet with it. What is your favorite Pokemon from the Kanto sort of region? I hesitate to use Generation. It would be Generation 1, but because of the remakes like Fire Red and Leaf Green, and with type changes and additions, like Generation 1 Magnemite was pure electric. Now it's a steel typing as well. So if that plays into your decision, just consider the Kanto region as a whole, up to date as it is. What is your favorite Pokemon from there? The base 150. I think we can probably leave out Mew and Mewtwo. They're either you really like them or you really hate them. So, and they're both legendaries, which kind of gives them an edge. Of course, I guess that would knock out Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno as well. This is suddenly becoming much more intrinsic than I meant it to be. Not intrinsic, that's not the right word. Complicated. We'll just go with that. Evidently my brain has forgotten how to speak English tonight. But out of the base, I guess, what do you say, 146 or 7, however many we're left with. What's your favorite Pokemon? I would say that one of my favorites out of this generation / region that isn't a legendary. Oh no. He looks like a hiker. Is he going to have rock types? No, Fossil. Now, I know you wouldn't see like a Ruin Maniac here normally, so this is definitely an addition. And Pidgeotto should do fine because it's Diglett would know maybe Magnitude at this point. Can't even do anything to us. It might also know Scratch, but that's not going to be a real danger. I think out of this region / generation, my favorite would maybe be, if I'm talking nostalgia alone, just the one I'm most connected to, probably Charizard. And it was because even as a child, I forced myself to pick Charizard. Originally, I picked Charizard just because it was hands down. It's a dragon in its final form. But afterward, when I realized that Charizard or / Charmander Slime was the most difficult one for the Kanto region, especially starting out, and one of the most rare types, because you don't run into that many fire type Pokemon. If you exclude Moltres, I think, depending on what version you have access to the Charmander line, Ponyta, Growlithe, Magmar. Is that it? That might actually be it. Or it's very close to it. There may be just one more that I've missed somewhere, but that is very close to all the fire types you can even get. Which, you know, when you start off with Brock being a rock type, we actually run into a Clefairy here. That is extraordinarily rare. Unless they scripted it, who knows? Who knows the changes they've made? We can't catch it anyway. With Brock starting off with rock and ground types, and then Misty has water and types, you have a severe disadvantage with your starter in the first two gyms, and then you don't get any kind of like particular advantage, depending on what sort of generation you're playing in. In the original games, Lieutenant Surge you didn't get any help with. I think, does he have a Magnemite or something? He might not. If he doesn't have some kind of steel type, it's not going to help you anyway. So you don't really get any kind of advantage until you get to Celadon City and fight Erica with her grass type Pokemon. It just makes the whole adventure a little more challenging. And that's why I'm really fond of Charizard. So that was a really long answer to the question of the episode. If you feel like leaving that kind of answer, I would be very impressed and happy. So I decided to leave their Moonstone for the Clefairy. You know, they kind of worship it apparently, and it's very important to them, so why not let them have it? Zubat. You want to smell my breath? No, Zubat, I don't want to smell your breath. But what if I confuse you? No. Zubat, no means no. Sweet antidote laying on the ground. Can't believe somebody left that there. It cost 250 Poké Dollars. Oh, inches from freedom. Struck down by the Pidgey Scourge. Well, we're drawing very near to the end of Mount Moon, and this is where I stopped recording. I want to thank everybody coming out today. Unfortunately, we can't stop at a Pokemon Center like we usually do, but just want to end it here at a natural stopping point. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. It helps out. If you like the content, please subscribe to get more in the future. And if you have a comment, leave it down below. I hope you have a wonderful time. And until we meet again, God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.